Tech for Senior live. Is everyone awake? We all got smiles. We all got our coffee. I got my Christmas mug, eh? See my Christmas mug?
Well, very nice.
Well,
very
yeah,
nice.
There you go. Yeah, welcome to everybody.
Bob, so, nice mug too.
Yeah, but that's the same mug I always use.
I got an invisible mug.
I stay hydrated.
All right. Well, listen, welcome everyone. It's Tech for Senior live. Merry Christmas to everyone out there. If you would be so kind as to let us know who you are, put your name down and maybe where you're from, and to give us a sit rep on the weather out there, and see what's going on, because we're going to get a big dump of snow tomorrow. So it's going. All my Mesa friends are going to be laughing at me. It's including Ray, you know. So yes, indeed, there's a big dump of snow coming. So we are, of course, Tech for Senior Live, but all the people here on the show today, who I'll be introducing shortly, of course, are from our Monday show, which is called Tech for Senior. And this is today. We're just sitting around. We have a social chit chat for the next hour. We're going to answer questions. So hopefully you have some questions for us. We're going to go over some news articles, talk a little bit about any gadgets we bought or anything cool, and we're going to have generally a good time. Now, I wanted to give everybody the heads up on this, but in fact, this show is going out as a podcast in the new year. So we will be, now what will that mean to this show? It won't mean anything. We're going to still do the same show. It will still be broadcast to, it'll still be broadcast out to Facebook and YouTube. But on the Friday morning, so tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in the new year, not this this week or next week, but
9 o'clock Pacific.
9 o'clock Pacific, it will go out as a podcast. And I guess, Bob, it takes a few weeks for the links all to get sorted out, or does it happen pretty quick? You know,
you schedule when you want it to be there, and it's there at that time.
So it's pretty cool. So it's going to go out as a podcast to the world, right? To the world.
But
so
you're going to have to post that link to that podcast someplace, I guess, on our.
Yeah, we will do that probably on our. We'll get that organized on our website and so on and so forth. So that's sort of cool. We're going to do that, and that will happen in the new year. So let's see, Huey, we got anybody out there listening to us yet?
Sure do.
Mike Ungerman, early on the site, awaiting the start. There you go, Mike Keene. Chris Rosinski from Mesa, Arizona. My good friend Chris. Chris and I did we taught Chromebooks for many years in Mesa, which reminds me, Huey, what are we doing later on this morning?
At 2 o'clock real time, Eastern time, we're doing Learning Chromebooks.
We are. So, Chris, I hope you come to that. Learning Chromebooks, yes.
International.
We're now broadcasting to Germany, which is great. Yeah. Bob Baxter from Berlin, yes. Bob is from Bellevue, Washington, 38. Bob, I think you're going to get hit with
from Berlin.
Detlef
is from Berlin.
And Bob from Bellevue, Washington. I was telling these guys that tomorrow we're going to get there's a big low pressure coming in along with an Arctic high, and it's going to come together right over Vancouver Island. So we're going to be at a big dump of snow tomorrow. So Bob, we might send some down to you down in Washington there. Joan, yeah, we're getting snow tomorrow. So bottled up. Dick Vogel says Sanford, Florida.
Freezing.
Yeah, it was about 10 degrees colder than that here during the night, but we're back up now.
You are, yeah. And Liz from Ohio, cloudy, 31. Oh, so it's below freezing. Okay.
Mhm.
Yep. So let me introduce everybody. I think most of you know who are here today. It's my co-host from Monday, of course, Huey Poplock. Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
Huey's here today, and Huey and I are getting in the match. Huey, I just want to let you know, I was at the gym twice this week, and I've been practicing my boxing. So you should see my muscles. They are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and we are going to have the big boxing match, the big knock 'em down fight on the 17th of January, right?
Yeah, and the topic is not to back up or to back up.
Your computer, your hard drive, yes.
Your hard drive.
So I'm going to be arguing against backing up. Huey's going to be arguing for, and we are going to have a knockdown. It's going to be a tough debate, but we're going to have that debate, and that will be on January the 17th on our Monday show, which of course is our Tech for Senior.
I'll be happy. I'll be happy to be the referee because I can argue on both sides.
Yeah.
Bob, I was seeking now to introduce Bob. Bob, of course, is everyone knows Bob. He's our security expert, and he talks on our Monday show. Bob, I was secretly going to get you to be my one of my because we can have, it doesn't matter. You could even get testimonials from people, right? So it doesn't matter. I was going to get Bob a testimonial from Bob on trying to restore his backup, because you had lots of problems when you tried to restore your image backup, didn't you?
Oh, I didn't have any problems. Not an image backup. No.
That was Steve.
Yep.
Steve was having problems.
Steve is the one who had problems.
He had problems saying.
Yep.
By the way, I guess we're really international, because look at this.
Where's that?
I have whoever signed in, that's what they signed in as.
Oh, okay. And then of course we have Ray Baxter.
Hello.
Ray, our music expert, and lives in Pine, Arizona.
Thriving metropolis of Pine, Arizona. Population under 2,000.
Is there a street light there? A signal?
There are on the main road we have in town, but where I live, no streetlights.
The little community that I am living in, which the city itself is Las Lunas, but I live in a little community called Meadow Lake. We have 6,000 people here. We're not an incorporated city, so we don't have industry over here. So you can't support a city if you have no industry, right? You have to have a tax basis. But there are 6,000 people here.
Well, property taxes usually help those kind of communities.
Yeah, they help the city of Las Lunas. They don't do a thing for us out here.
Really?
Yep.
Ray, do you have your family? Do you have family there? Is
Phoenix.
Jenny, Merry Christmas.
Two of my daughters.
Happy New Year. Well, we will have another Tech for Senior, and we'll have another Senior Live, right, between now and New Year. So
Yes.
we will. So Ray, do you have family down? You have because your daughter's down in
I have two daughters who but one lives in Scottsdale, the other in Phoenix.
Okay.
And then there's two granddaughters who live, one in Fountain Hills and another one out further in Mesa, and grandson's out in Mesa. So yeah, they're good. Now my youngest daughter is moving she was in Virginia, and then a year ago she moved to, or 2 years ago, Pennsylvania, and she keeps coming west. She works in the educational industry, and she got a job in Nebraska.
Oh, really?
Well, Nebraska isn't that far. She's right on the border of Colorado. So North Platte, I think it is, where she's going to be residing. Right. So that's now there she'll be within driving distance. That'll be nice.
Pretty cool. So you may or may not know this, but about 40 years ago, I always took January off, and Gail and I went to Hawaii. And one day while sitting on a beach, this guy came and sat next to us with his wife, and we looked at each other, and I said, "Hey, you're sort of a cool guy." And he said, "You're sort of a cool guy." and we went out for dinner with him and his wife that night. His name's Dave Hull, and he was a dentist from Fremont, Nebraska. So I've spent 6 times I've been to his house in Fremont, Nebraska. So I'm probably the only Canadian that has ever visited Nebraska. Usually Nebraska, you're flying over it to go somewhere. But in fact, so I know all the places, and Dave had an airplane. So when I went out to visit him, he'd fly me around in his airplane. And so I know Fremont really well.
Well, here's a question for you. How many states have you visited in the U.S.? Now, I know you told me you took your RV at one time, but I've been in 49.
It's pretty good. We've been in a lot. I never counted them up, but we lived full time in our RV for a year, and we traveled all across the United States and down, and around. Probably some of the central states we didn't, we haven't been to. But we certainly did do a lot of states, including going south and down through Texas, and really went quite a ways around the United States. It was very interesting time back then.
I've been in all 50 states.
Wow.
Hawaii only once. Alaska only once. But I have been in all 50 states.
The one I have not been in is North Dakota.
Right.
Haven't found my way to Fargo yet, but who knows?
Yeah, we've been in North Dakota. Well, the other thing, Bob, I want to tell you that my parents were born in Saskatchewan, and both in Saskatchewan, and then they both had a cabin up at a lake in northern Saskatchewan called Meadow Lake.
Oh, small world.
Meadow Lake, yes, indeed. So Meadow Lake, I know well. Yes.
I don't like leaving. There's a road from Tampa to Daytona Beach, cuts across Florida.
Right.
It's called I-4.
And I don't want
to go any farther north than that. So I have no desire to go anywhere else. I'm happy right here.
Well, if you came up to visit me, I'm a pretty good cook.
You're just going to have to send it to me virtually.
All right. So anyway, good times. So listen, I usually, Gerald Marks, good morning from Louisiana. I usually have a little video clip I like to play now that we can sort of have a look at. Oh, Vale Williams. Vale's been here for 50 states plus 80% Canadian. Vale is a very good friend of mine. Vale, do you remember Vale, Ray? Vale was in our computer club, and Vale, he was sort of the brains of the operation. I did tech support with him for 10 years on Friday afternoons, and he's very, very smart. And Murray's here. Oh, good, Murray from Victoria. Yeah, we got the whole gang here. I hope they don't ask us any thought-provoking questions.
Well, we got a question from Murray yesterday. I'm very happy he was able to solve it on his own.
Yeah,
we weren't a whole lot of help.
I didn't see a response, so.
Well, hopefully, that's pretty cool. But what I did want to mention to everybody, now I know that Huey and Bob both bought Facebook portals, and Huey. Too. Oh, and Ray too. Oh, portals. I will tell you. So Ray, let me get your thoughts on that. Have you?
I haven't opened even the box yet. It only came yet.
Okay.
So, but I was concerned about using it for Zoom, and when I looked at some of the information, it didn't say it. So I'm glad you guys and Huey told me this morning. No, it definitely works with Zoom.
No problem at all. We use it all. I use it all the time for Zoom meetings. It works. It works very well with that. Not a problem.
Mine has been ordered. I'm waiting for delivery.
Mine came a day earlier, so they are shipping them out.
Right. We actually have some articles we'll review today on actually using a television as a communication tool, because of course when we think about Zoom meetings, we always think about tablets, computers, cell phones, but really there are some seniors that just don't have all those. So the question really becomes, how do you make TVs into a computer that uses Zoom. I guess you need a camera and you need some speakers and an internet connection. Well, the portable TV, of course, does that, which really works quite well. The other thing, of course, is the new Amazon TVs. We'll talk a little bit about that. They, of course, are built with Zoom in them now, and all you need to do is put a camera on them, and you can do a Zoom meeting. So it's pretty cool. Some interesting technology that is coming.
And I got my new toy, and it's still in a box.
And what is that?
It is a Wise car.
Oh, you told me that. Yeah. So tell us about that.
It's still in a box. The camera came a month and a half ago. That goes on it. It comes with a power supply, a battery pack that you put in it. But you got to there's some things you got to assemble. And the print is so small, I had to throw it in my printer and blow it up. I mean, it's just a little teeny piece of paper about that big, and it's 2 pages wide, that big, and of course they don't make it so you can it's real light color ink on top of it. So I have to read the directions and concentrate on it to put it together.
JJ says,
and then I'll play with it.
Yeah. JJ says his is still in the box. Look, you guys. This is easy. It is easy peasy to set this thing up. The only thing you need is an HDMI cord because it doesn't come with an HDMI cord. So if you got a spare HDMI cord, just stick it in and plug it in. It's not like
that's the problem. My TV has limited.
There's the box.
HDMI.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to disconnect something to plug it in.
Yeah. But it says JJ says the same thing. He says, go the new Wise Scale S yesterday, and it works with Fitbit app. Go the new Wise Scale.
The scale. There's this. They have a scale.
Wise Scale. That was my first device from Wise. Was their scale.
And I don't know if you saw this. Let's see.
I tend to stay away from scales. They just give me bad news.
What you don't know won't hurt you.
Exactly. Bill says, hi from Oregon on both Chromebook and Windows, likes 4 and 6. Looking forward to Chromebook session. Yeah. So Bill, I worked hard. I think I got some interesting stuff for you. Should be some interesting, and I'm sure Huey does as well. So we should have a good Chromebook session today for sure. Murray says, I think I had better attend the Chromebook session. I finally got one. 100
Canadian dollars
equals $70 just at Shoppers Drug, but I really don't know how to use it. I don't know. Have you ever heard? I've never heard of a Chromebook for $100. I mean, it can't be much of a Chromebook.
It's probably 4 gigabytes of RAM, 16 or 32 storage, and I'm hoping it's at least one that you can install a couple of apps on it from Play Store, but probably not a lot.
Shoppers Drug Mart. Maybe he bought that used. Could be a couple of years old.
Yeah, I don't know. Mike says Mike's got an HDMI. Mike says an HDMI switch will give you more ports, Bob.
Yeah, I'm just looking at one right now. HDMI switch with a remote 5-in-1 for $30. Cheap.
Yeah, they're not expensive, but it's just another remote that you got to deal with.
Yep.
Murray says his Chromebook actually was $250. Well, okay, that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Well, we'll look forward to you on
2 o'clock real time.
2 o'clock real time. Yeah.
11
o'clock our time.
11 o'clock Ron's time.
That's right. So you guys ready to do some?
Let's
some articles.
Talk about some news.
All right.
We bored them enough.
All right. Now, for those of you who, I'm going to enlarge it. Don't get excited. For those of you who want to follow along, just go over to our Facebook page and you'll see the articles that are there. Okay, let's see where we go here. The first article was...
Did you notice it's not me?
I know you guys. I did it. I posted this, and I thought you guys would have snuck in there, but you didn't. So my first time I think I've ever had the first article. And Huey, this is actually a very interesting one, and we can actually discuss this article today on the show, right? On our Chromebook session. A ton of Chromebook users tried Android apps for the first time this year, which the article goes along to discuss the Play Store and the fact that people are downloading apps off the Play Store into Chromebooks and using them. And I mean, I've been doing that for years, but this is, of course, with the rapid interest in Chromebooks, it appears that the number of apps being downloaded has gone way up this year. And it says that...
And one of the things I'm going to talk about this afternoon is how to clear some things from your Chromebook when you start filling it up. And one of the things that's suggested is the fact that you uninstall apps you're not using. And the same thing with your Android phones as well, or your iPhone. We tend to put new apps in when we hear about them, and if we don't use them, they're still taking up storage space, which is quite limited on a lot of the machines. So.
Yeah. This said that Chrome OS has grown 92% in the past year, eh? And so that's pretty cool. And it talks about Chrome OS 96, of course, which I did a video on, and you'll be hearing all about that Chrome OS 96 in our Learning Chromebook session today.
And OS, of course, means operating system.
Operating system. Indeed. So I thought that was sort of interesting. So let's come down here.
Oh, Ron got another one. Wow.
I did. And this is the Fire TV Omni, of course, which is selling like crazy. We've talked about this before, but I just wanted to let you know that this is one of a series of TVs now that are going to be coming out that have Zoom embedded in them. In other words, the ability to make Zoom calls from this is embedded into this TV, and all you'll need to add, of course, is a camera to it. It comes with microphones and everything like that. So because it's a logical extension, like, with the portal TV, it's so interesting. We're sitting in the kitchen, we're watching TV, and of course we get a call on the portal TV, and it rings like on top of the TV. It goes ring, 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 ring. And I just switch over, we answer it, and it's a Zoom call, right? So it makes sense. It's all running through your television. Who wants to go and find their laptop or their tablet and bring it up and sort of try to do it? Because you're usually focused around the TV. So I think this is really cool. And so if I don't need any more TVs, as you know, I got a lot of TVs, but this is certainly an option. I think these are actually made by TCL, my favorite TV company, right? So just let everyone know that that's certainly happening, and it'll be interesting to see how that works out. This I just published. This was, Bob, did you see this one? Google Chrome's new download UI on Windows. So on the bottom of how when it says you're downloading a file and it gives you the little download directory on the bottom, we're going to move it to the top, and it's going to be on the top to make it look a lot snappier and so on and so forth. And
it'll make it look like what it does in Edge.
That's right. Well, no, but you're right, Bob. That's right. Exactly right.
Well, Chrome is complaining because Edge is knocking Chrome, and now Chrome is trying to look like Edge. So what gives?
Yeah. Do you like that? What do you think of it?
You get used to it. First you're looking for it on the bottom and it's not there, and you notice, oh, wait a minute, the pop-up's toward the top. Okay. It really doesn't make any difference. It's what your eye gets used to. If they move it, it'll be a little while. You get accustomed to it, and then you don't even think about the fact it hasn't been there forever.
Bob, are you using a beta version? I don't think it's in the latest version that I have of Chrome.
Yeah, I'm always one step ahead.
Yeah. So, and one thing I mentioned this to Ron once before when we've talked, or maybe more than that. I really don't like the fact that a lot of these articles are put out. And yeah, those of you who are beta, you understand and you can test it and take a look at it. We see this, we learn about it, and then, you know, it might not come out, be available to the rest of us for a couple of months. And by that time, we can't find that article to find out what it's all about.
And
So
sometimes things in the beta don't come out at all. So
that's true.
that's
So
even worse.
sometimes having those articles published too soon, I don't like, because I want to be able to click on something and be able to test it or try it and see it. Not know that, well, it probably will be here next month or maybe.
Yeah, the word beta should be in the headline.
Yeah.
But it never is. It never is.
Yeah.
That's why
It never
headlines
is. I just looked at the article. It's not in there.
headlines are quite deceiving most of the time. They're meant to catch your eye.
Yep.
So that
Make
you
you
click
click.
on the link. Yep.
Clickbait.
And yep.
This next article is pits Google Pixel 6 versus the Samsung Galaxy S21 Plus. I think it's an unfair connection, because it really should be the Google Pixel 6 Pro versus the Galaxy S21 Plus. But there is actually side-by-side comparison of a lot of different things with it, size and weight and memories and all of that sort of thing. It's really a long explanation comparing the two. And I'm in a quandary right now. If I decide to get a new phone, it's going to be one of those three. It's either going to be a Google Pixel 6 or the 6 Pro, Pro, or the Galaxy S21 Plus.
So when you figure that out, let me know, because I'm in the same quandary.
The main big difference is in the Pro, the camera is much better.
Yeah.
There are some choices in the camera that, right.
And it's also bigger.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
Yeah. I had a friend.
It's also quite heavy.
Yeah.
Because I have my Pixel 5, and you put the two of them next to each other. Actually,
while you're digging for it, I have a Galaxy.
Well, here's the two of them.
Wow.
Okay. Now this is quite light. This is quite heavy. But there is a big difference between the two of them, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So Bob, aside from the pictures, aside from that, you use your phone, I'm sure, all day long, and you're doing lots of things with it. What if you found anything aside from the camera that you really, it stands out? Is there anything else you use that you think it's really great?
The bigger phone is easier to manage when you have things like, you got a bunch of things and you want to clear all of them, or you don't have the scrolling to do anymore.
Right.
Provided you keep your text sizes the same. Usually what happens, you get a bigger phone, you increase your text size.
Right.
And then you still wind up having to scroll things. But if you're used to the text size you have on a smaller phone, and you keep that same text size on the larger phone, then you have much more that gets displayed, and it makes it easier to manage things.
So when you do you notice that it is? I know it's faster because of course
it is a lot faster.
So you notice that when you're using it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. Okay. Well, there you go. So Huey and I are still on the fence, and I don't know yet, Huey. I agree with you. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. And since I got a new battery in my phone, I'm not really keen. I'm not anxious to make a big decision right now. Mike says if one wants a new smartwatch, that might be a term. Yeah, that's true. Because I will be getting the new Pixel watch, because I want to write some more. I know you guys want more articles and watches, so I got to get the Pixel watch, and I'm going to write some articles about it. But it may be, you're right, that may have a deciding factor. Although you could argue, if you have the Galaxy Watch 4, you probably would want to go with the Samsung phone.
But if you want the Apple Watch, you need an Apple phone.
You do. You do.
An iPhone.
You do. Oh, Huey, you want to talk about DuckDuckGo?
Well, DuckDuckGo is a search engine, but
Yes.
they're putting together a desktop web browser that's going to be available for Windows and for Macs and Apples. And when I was reading the article, it said it's not going to be Chromium based. So what are they going to base it on? When I started reading the article, they're going to base it on the Microsoft. It's going to be based on from the operating system's engine, which in the case of Windows is Edge, and in the case of Apple is Safari. So I don't know how they're, instead of using Chromium itself, they're going to use something that's built into Windows.
Yeah, but Edge is built on Chromium.
I know, that's what I didn't understand that at all.
Doesn't make sense.
Nope.
But somehow they're doing it through the operating system rather than the open source software. So it's going to be interesting to see what they come up with. But DuckDuckGo is tries to be very secure.
Well, it's privacy
and privacy.
Right.
So we'll have to see what happens when they do come out with it, and it's going to be sometime after the first of the year.
All right. Good one. You've Google Voice now has Gmail-like custom rules. Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, I just saw that this morning, and I want to
Oh.
look into it. I use Google Voice. I have a home phone number that is Google Voice,
Right.
and then I use an Obi High gadget, which was sold. Somebody else now owns it, but you can still get it. You can search on Obi High and find it. But
Right.
I don't need a computer or anything for it to work. It works directly with my router, and so I have a phone number that is a Google Voice number I've had for years.
My Pixel 6 doesn't yet have T-Mobile hooked to it, so I use my Google Voice on the Pixel 6 as the phone number.
Mm. So anyway, this article talks about there's custom rules now that you can get for forwarding your calls or for voicemail. So I'm going to have to look into it and see what it does and play around with that. Settings is what it is.
Yeah, I hope what this means is that Google's going to keep on with Google Voice. It's one of those things where you never know from one year to the next if they're going to keep going with Google Voice. I don't,
with any of their products. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Chrome, you're sort of going to say it's probably here for good, or Google Photos, but you never know. And I always think, oh man, I hope they don't get rid of Google Voice.
I've been using Google Voice when you had to get an invite to join to try it out.
Right.
And at one time I had a whole bunch of Google Voice numbers that I used in a job that I had to have I had to have several phone numbers, and I had a whole bunch of them.
Dorothy wants to know, I can't remember, is Google Voice available in Canada? Huey, do you know that? Is Google
I have no idea.
You'll have to. I'm sorry, Dorothy. I don't know that. I'm not sure on that. I'd have to look that up. Detlef wants to know what Obi High is. It's like Obi-Wan Kenobi, right?
No, Obi High is a piece of equipment. It's just a small thing. I'll see if I can. While somebody else is talking here, I'll go find the link. And it's somebody else bought them. I can't remember the name. One of the big companies.
It's a physical piece of equipment that lets you
connect. Piece of equipment that you can run your phone through, and it works with Google Voice.
Right.
To answer the question on Google Voice is no longer available in Canada, although it was once possible to scrape together a usable Google Voice system in Canada. That platform was never fully supported north of the border.
All right.
That left uses Google Voice in Germany.
And Chris says, I carry my phone in my shirt pocket. Sounds like my Pixel is too heavy and too.
Yeah, you
yeah,
probably
that's
need
true.
some reinforcements for the Pixel 6 Pro if you're going to put it in your pocket. It's also quite big. Depending how deep your pocket is, it might wind up toppling over. So,
And you, Chris, you'd be crying if you're bent over to go into the bathroom and it went into the toilet bowl. You'd be a really unhappy camper because it's not cheap. Dorothy says it wasn't it. It was after Hangouts dialer stopped. Yeah, you see that all get very muddy with Hangouts, and Hangouts, of course, is gone. So it all got very muddy, and a lot of times you couldn't use Google Voice with Hangouts. There was complicated. There was a whole bunch of muddiness there, but that I think has got itself straightened out. Bill says, "Do you want to put that one up, Huey?" I guess here I'll put it up. You're probably busy working. Bill says likes number 8 and number 9 from Samsung Smart TV. I'm not. What's number 8 and number 9? I don't quite. Do you guys know that?
Huh?
I don't know what number 8 and number 9 is.
2 likes. I don't know how many likes you've gotten on the Facebook side, but this might be referring to.
Maybe. This was interesting, and this was just came out this morning. I put this on. This was, Google Maps is just phenomenal. I just think it's crazy. But this is going to tell you how many people are in a certain area, because obviously with COVID, you want to try to look at areas that aren't so busy when you're traveling around, and this is going to give you sort of population density or how busy the place is. And I thought that's a new feature they're going to add, which is sort of good. I thought it was a good idea. So that's Google Maps. So not that we have to go through this article, but I just posted. This is from ZNet. By the way, the Pixel 6 got Phone of the Year award from ZNet, Phone of the Year award. But just to let everybody know, there are a lot of really good phones out there that you don't have. We talk about the $1,000 phones, but there's great phones out there. Motorola makes some just great phones for $200. You don't have to spend $1,000. And this article does talk about, the top 10 phones. And so if you want to look at some phones and you don't want to spend $1,000, here's an article. You can read it. I'm not going to go through all the phones, but it's there for you. If that's sort of what. So that's why I put that up there. Ray, finally we got to Ray's article. You're probably sitting there wondering what's going on. See what we do, Ray. We sort of all publish a bunch of articles the day before the show. Right? So if you've done it 3 days before, forget it.
I'm way down on the list, huh?
You're way down on the list.
It's 3 hours he did it. 3 hours ago.
Yeah, actually, I did this one last night, so it wasn't too far back.
Okay. All right. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, this is talking about Boeing and Airbus as well. They're urging the delay of the deployment of 5G by the wireless carriers. And their feeling is that it hasn't been proven yet that 5G may interfere with some of the controls on the airlines. Now, they're only talking about doing this in and around airports, obviously. But that's where I'm sure the wireless companies like AT&T and Verizon, those are the two key ones, they're going to expect to get a lot of business with people who are in airports who are using their phone, and they'd like to have the ability to use 5G there. So this has been pushed up to the Transportation Secretary, and January 5, I believe, is the date when they're going to have to make a decision about whether they're going to use the C-band spectrum. So this is two agencies fighting each other.
Yeah,
transportation versus communication.
But the interesting thing about I find the interesting about that is that 5G in other parts of the world has been around for quite a long time. In fact, China's moving on to 6G now. Mm-hmm. And, if you look at Southeast Asia, you look at India, and you look particularly at China, they've been using 5G around airports and, in a big way, long years before it came to Canada and the United States. So they must know. I mean, this isn't
What is that expression? Error on the side of caution.
In this case, what you have is the airline still trying to use the old bandwidth, okay, which really should be retired and be
Oh, I
repurposed.
see. Okay.
And that's where the problem comes in.
Oh,
They're still
okay.
behind and they don't want to upgrade and move away from old technology. It's like people who swear like heck that Windows XP is going to be remaining around forever.
Right.
And I'm sorry, it can't handle some of the things that the new stuff does. But I have it and I'm used to it and I want to continue to use it.
All right.
It wasn't that long ago when you could not turn your computer on until the plane was in the air. So technology ultimately will win out and everybody will be happy. But the question is, how long will that take?
Ray, so this is Say Goodbye to Streaming Movies the same day they are in theaters. So what's with this?
Well, the COVID, if there's anything good that might have come out of COVID, it was the fact that the movie houses, HBO Max in particular, and they own Warner Media, I think, there was a host of movies in 2021 this past year that the day it arrived in the theaters, you could also stream it on HBO Max. Yep. And that was, I think the right decision at the time. But think about it, all the actors, those who were involved in the industry, the movie theater chains themselves, all of a sudden are now competing with people wanting to stay home and watch that same movie. The fact that it was exclusive no longer was there. So there's been a lot of discussion, and that is over. The HBO Max says they will not be doing that in 2022.
They're trying to save the movie theater industry is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because you were still paying for it if you got it at home. It wasn't that you were getting it for free the same day. You still
some of them actually, if you were paying for the streaming, you got it on that. Others did have it where there was a premium attached to it as well. But I think with HBO Max, as long as you were streaming that service, that movie was available same day it hit the theaters. Anyway, so if you took advantage of it, great. But those days are gone.
All right. Well, changing times.
Hey, 3 in a row.
You did well there, Ray. You did well. So for those of you who are techies like us, CES is the big computer show, of course, in Las Vegas, which attracts hundreds of thousands of people. However, with the recent,
lots of them are pulling out of there. So
yeah, this year they were. It's a go. They're having CES, but they're pulling out like flies. T-Mobile, TikTok, AT&T, they all pulled out of CES 2020. So
latest thing I read this morning is
in person. They will still be doing it virtually, and it'll be much more of a hybrid meeting. Last year was completely virtual, but this year it'll be more of a hybrid meeting. And here's a question: how long has CES been around? This number amazed me.
Oh, I would say 20 years?
54 years.
Really?
Wow.
Really?
We're getting old.
We are. So, well, listen, you guys, will CES be virtual? Can we go to it? Do you know?
Yes.
Oh, really?
You're going to have to show proof that you either been vaccinated or had a test that same day. Those kinds of requirements that we see in other parts of society.
But if it's virtual, we'll be able to go on our computer and just log in and have a look at it.
Exactly. Which is how I'm going to attend. Yeah. I don't know if of course they're involved in that, but it'll be considered a hybrid meeting this year.
Well, that'll be sort of cool because we could maybe go and look at some sessions if there's some interesting technology we want to look at, eh?
Absolutely.
Huh. All right. Well, we need to follow that.
Mike and I went to CES. Mike, I can't remember how many years ago. It wasn't, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It was the last time that I went, and it's a huge show, and there's so much there you can't see it all. Mm-hmm. And last year when they had it virtually, there was so much, and some of it was just geared towards people in the industry that are looking to add to their products and so on. There were a lot of things that it wouldn't be of interest to most of us.
I suspect Mike Ungerman is probably going to go. I mean, he says virtually he's going to go. So maybe he can keep us appraised of the login and where you log in and how to do it. Because I think that'd be fun to go to a few sessions and have a look around. There's some cool stuff. Mike, can you keep us posted on that if you're going to go? Can you give us share the link on that and let us know what's happening?
Yeah, he and I went to the Last Gadget Standing, and when he's gone other years by himself, the Last Gadget Standing is where they have during the year people submit, and they'll have maybe, I think it's the top 50 or top 25 gadgets that are coming, and it's really interesting. Some of the things I purchased one of them. I can't remember what it was. It was a card that had Wi-Fi built into it that you could put in your camera. That was before the cameras had the ability to send pictures and so on.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of interesting items in that Last Gadget Standing, and Mike says sure he can let us know what's going on.
Keep us posted. That's great. Thanks, Mike. Bob, this is from you. Be careful, spam blockers are having problems. What's this about?
Well, Google spam blocker used to be excellent up until the time the holiday season really kicked into high gear. I'm now getting not overrun, but I'm getting quite a few spam stuff in my inbox. And you got to be careful because all of these things have redirecting links to take you to places that you shouldn't be going and that might wind up stealing some of your information. I posted just one that was there on that morning when I did the post, and it looks legitimate. Actually, I got one this morning for another giveaway. This one came from supposedly Amazon, and they want to give me a $100 gift card. Of course, it should not be in my inbox because it's coming from a place in Great Britain. And how the heck do I deal with Great Britain for my Amazon stuff? I don't. But people have to be careful. They make it look so nice. They make it look like it's coming from the genuine place. And it's not until you hover your mouse over the address that you actually get to see, oh, wait a minute, this is coming from a strange place. Nothing to do with Amazon or any of the other places. So it's a time of heightened caution. That's about all I can say.
All right.
Ron, I tried to put something in the chat box, and of course I can't as in StreamYard, but I went to my YouTube into the YouTube channel, and I'm in the YouTube and put something in there, and it didn't take either. So it was a link to the what was the Obi High, and it's now Polycom, Polycom for Detlef, who was asking about that, and it was at Amazon that I bought it from. So
okay, thanks for doing that. Now this was interesting. You may or may not have seen this, but I talked about this about 6 months ago. The Echo Show 15, which is the new Echo Show, and this it's now available, and it's available for purchase, and it's a fairly large device. It's 15 inches, and its claim to fame is it can be wall mounted, like you see it on the wall. Now it's had mixed reviews. I'm sort of interested in this. I have not purchased it, and I don't think I will be purchasing one. Because I don't have any wall space to put it on, and I don't need any more devices. But Gail says I can't have one more device on our kitchen counter. She says that's it. It's either that or she's throwing out some of my kitchen gadgets, so I can't put it on the counter. And the other problem was it's the software that's running it isn't that flexible. So there's been mixed reviews. Do you guys have any interest, or have you thought about? I mean, if you're sort of in the Amazon Echo Show sort of thing, it has some cool stuff. But the problem I have with it is it's heavy and it's fairly big, and the things that it sort of does, you could do with a television, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to use this for. And so we'll have to see. But just let you know, it is an interesting product, and it's a big screen, and you could certainly use it as a as a photo screen that you could bring up your photos, but it's much more, and it's touch screen as well. So you see here, you can see that there's little, yellow stickies that you can look at, but you can't change the position of these. Like, it's not really customizable, right? So
Right.
these are always sort of there. So it's not really flexible sort of thing.
Ron, how is it powered?
Power. It has to be plugged in.
Yeah, so you're gonna have an electrician come in and put some an outlet, where you want to put it on the wall.
Or
Correct.
you got a wire hanging down.
Right.
Yeah.
I have the Amazon Show 10. That's enough.
Yeah.
So if I want to watch movies, I got a 70-inch TV. I'm going to go watch it on a 15-inch. Nah.
Yeah.
Before you leave that article, that same format, they have somebody's got a monitor coming out.
Yep.
I think they're announcing it at CES. Can't remember who it was, but it's like it's
LG.
two monitors. One is
LG.
LG. Yep.
and it's the size of a regular monitor twice, one on top of the other, but it's in one unit. And so it would be a big item on your desk, but that one you could move things around the way you want, Ron.
Yeah.
And what's nice about that one, Yui, is you can turn it either landscape or portrait.
Yeah, I had one like that many years ago, and it had some kind of a track on it, and it was great for certain things that I could turn it around into portrait mode, and I loved it.
All
But
right.
I noticed the one that they were showing, I don't think was a touch screen, and I think something like that should be. So,
Yeah, and this is as I said, this just it's been around. They've been talking about it for 6 months, and it's just been available now. So interesting. All right, Galaxy Watch 4 is great, but battery life has been oh so disappointing. Now,
I think somebody mentioned that once or twice on Tech for Senior.
yeah, I mention all the time. But here's, and I just wanted to bring this up. It's not the battery that's the problem. Well, it's the charging of the battery. It's slow charging, and it's a real. And Bill James said the same thing. It's a pain in the butt because it takes an hour. It needs to be charged every day, and when you put it on the charger for an hour and a half to charge it, the problem is, like, I have my shower and I'm ready to go, and that takes me 20 minutes. So when I go, my watch isn't ready, right? So, and so the Sense or the Fitbit Sense has a fast charger. And look at Michael Daniels. He have a Merry Christmas, Michael. Hello, thanks so much.
he donated $10 to us. Thank you, Michael.
Thanks a lot, Michael. You're a great guy. Yes, indeed. Have a Merry Christmas. Yes, to you too, Michael. We'll be talking. We talked to Michael. For those of you who don't know, Michael Daniels, he's been on our show a number of times, but Michael Daniels has a community, and I know that I really enjoy every day at 4:00. Usually it's around 4 Pacific time. I log into Michael's community, and Chris Gould's there, and we sit around, Huey, and we sit around and have a chat, and we talk about techie stuff. And Michael gives us a tip, and sometimes we talk for an hour. It's a great social event. And gosh, will we be doing it 2 years now? 1 year, 2 years?
I think we're in our second year for sure.
I think it's I just couldn't do it. Each day I just look so forward to that experience that it's really a lot of fun. So and you learn a lot.
It's a great community. It's not expensive, and they offer so much. They offer the tips every day. They all kinds of tutorials and workshops, and
nice game show on Fridays too.
Yeah. And they also a good many of the people in there are Google volunteers in the Google help desks. Yeah.
So thank you, Michael, for all you do, and thank you for your community, and thank you for all those tips. And I do actually look at them and take them to heart, right? So, all right, Bob, meet the Windows firewall. Doesn't Windows have a firewall? What's with this?
The free version of Avast now has a firewall. It's something that's been asked for a long time. It now has one.
And it's in the free version?
Yeah, it's in the free version, and it's in Avast 1 and
One.
also the free version of Avast.
But doesn't Windows have a firewall?
Yeah, it does.
So
Windows, again, the same thing. If you install the free version of Avast with the firewall, then that firewall would become your firewall. The
Mhm.
one from Windows would just not be active.
Okay. All right. There we go. CES is falling apart.
Yep.
Oh,
But they are insisting that you will still have a live CES in January.
Yeah, the end of January, I'm going to a live show. I hope it's still going to be on. It's in Orlando. It's called FETC, Future Educational
Technology.
Technology Conference. It
Mhm.
used to be Florida, and they changed it to Future, and it's actually a national and international show. And I've gone several years. This year, I'm going as a podcaster and representing Tech for Senior, and it's mostly educational stuff. A lot of it's K through 12 and college, but also it's a lot of things that we do and talk about on Tech for Senior. So I thought it was a pretty good fit. And I was able to get a ticket. It's not free. It's not a free show. It's for several days. I'll probably go for 2 days, maybe a third, depending upon the workshops that they have. But I'm looking forward to it. And it's the end of January. And hopefully I'll get a lot of good information from there to bring back here.
so for thanks. That's great. We look forward to. We're all ears, Huey. We're
Okay.
all ears. All right.
Well, then I'll look for some headsets then.
Yeah. And TCL. Now here's a shopping tip for everybody.
You've
as
got
you
3
know,
minutes.
I know it's a quick tip. So TCL, as you know, my favorite TV, had some problems with their Google TV, and Best Buy in the United States took all the Google TVs that has Google TV embedded in the into the TCLs, took them off the market, and TCL fixed it, and the new software is on there now, and they've put them back out on the market, but they're dropping the prices because they got so many of these they want to sell them. So you get some absolutely great deals on these TVs. So just to let you know, TCL, the Google, not the Roku, not the TCL Roku ones, but the Google TV ones, very good deals right now. Pixel Watch, yes. I don't want to talk about that. That's lots coming up, but it looks as though it's a go. There is going to be another watch. Bob, you what
I
the
put
heck?
this out. I put this out only because I still have an essential phone. It's been retired. It's now being used strictly for camera purposes and for some demos. But this is a new phone that's going to be coming out next year. It's made by the people that originally made the essential phone.
Okay, cool. Dell computers, BIOS updates, cloud laptops, desktops, not too. Oh, great.
Uh-huh. Well, it's certain. I posted the models.
All right.
And if you happen to have those Dell Latitude laptops, you got some problems.
All right. Fortunately, I don't. Oh,
This is a good thing to end the show on.
Note to end on, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
There you go. The fight will be on. We are going to be there duking it out on January the 17th. So
You guys look like you're in really good shape.
Hey, we've
Right,
been
we're working out.
We've been working out.
Yeah,
I
we've been
can see
working
that.
out.
I can see that.
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, we've been going to the gym and
In fact,
watching.
Yui is as tall as you now, Ron.
All right, it's top of the hour. We got to get ready for our learning Chromebooks, which will be in another hour, right, Huey?
Oh gosh, I better hurry up and get ready.
Yeah. So listen, everyone out there, if we want to thank you so much for coming. We'll of course be around next Thursday. After Christmas, we'll be able to tell us about all the Christmas stuff we got and all the cool gadgets. So we'll see you everyone next week. Don't forget to watch our show this coming Monday, and for sure we have a bang up show at 11 or not 11 o'clock.
In an hour.
In another hour, we have a bang up show on learning Chromebooks. So please come and listen. We're going to have lots of fun, and we will see where we go with that. You guys got anything to say? You want to say goodbye? I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Everybody.
Yep.
We'll make it to our learning Chromebooks. We'll see you next week. Thanks for coming.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
All right. There you go. And Mike Ungerman says, thanks, Christmas trees. Don't forget, Mike, you got to tell us about CES. Keep us in that link. Okay. I'm going to end the broadcast. We'll talk behind the scenes, and then we'll get ready for the next show. Okay. All right.
All right.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
So long.
Bye-bye.